Alright, so what I got here is several different 12 gauge loads, and I'm going to go ahead and shoot these out of a 590A1 Mossberg and just see what kind of pattern it lays down, as well as what kind of penetration I get and what kind of over penetration, if any, I get. But I'd like to know firsthand exactly how it behaves at that range against some common things that would be in your house, and then just check to see what kind of penetration we get, and if they're going to be flying into other rooms, and if they do, what kind of damage are we looking at, that type of thing.
So I got a Mossberg 590A1 here, and the first thing I'm going to be shooting out of it is the 3-inch Winchester Super-X. It's double-aught buck, 15 pellets per shell, and I'm shooting from 5 meters, which is about 15 feet or so. I would think that's probably going to be around the maximum distance you'd be at anybody in your house or any home defense situation. Bring it over here. Let's look at watch the drone. Let's look at the pattern. Okay, so here's our pattern. There's our pattern, and look at the back. It's full on penetration. That was double-aught buck, 3-inch shell. What is it? 15, 16 pellets per shell. So that was pretty good penetration.
All right, so here we go. This is a double-aught buck, 3-inch Winchester Super-X or whatever it is. And as you can see, there's our pattern, and this is what we're dealing with. A piece of, this is like waterproof or water resistant drywall, 3/4 inch birch and another 3/4 inch birch, and it just shredded out the back of it. And if you look at it in the light, you can see the majority of them went all the way through.
Over these holes that we marked from the last shots, so I know what we're dealing with this time. Of course, if this buckshot hits any of these, it's going to probably penetrate fairly easy. So I'm going to try and aim for the lower side of the red dot. Okay. Alright, so this one we've got is double-aught buck. It's a 9 pellet because it's a 2 3/4 inch shell. Here we go. 5 meters, a double-aught buck, 2 3/4 inch, 9 pellet. Alright, so you can see here, this kind of damage. You back up a little bit. One of the plastic carrier thing even shot into it. Let's check out the damage from the back. Yeah, that one also burned through fairly decent. You can definitely tell it's not the same punch through as that 3-inch Magnum. Alright, this one's the 1 buck. It's a 3-inch shell, a 3-inch cartridge, 1 buck. See how this one does, same distance.
Alright, so this one's the 1 buck, 24 pellet, 3-inch shell. Looks like a decent spread.
As you can see, we've got a decent grouping, a decent spread, and it looks like every one of them went through. Yeah, looks like they all went through. So there's our pellets. So there's one of them right there. Got a little bit of bump. So there we have it. One. That other double-aught buck even pushed out this felt plug. That's interesting. Alright, this one should be the number 2 shot steel, Winchester Super-X. That's a Drylock steel, 2 3/4 shell, number 2 shot. See how this one does. I'm gonna aim for the lower bottom right.
We can see there's a nice wide shot pattern
at 5 meters or 15 feet. And here's the back of it. Nada. There's nothing. I've got no penetration at all. I'd be curious if it even went through. Yeah, some of it went through. The first layer of 3/4 inch. I can see 1 or 2 pellets kind of stuck through there. So there you have it, number 2 shot. Alright, so here's our underneath the drywall what we got. There's all the double-aught buck and the 1 shot. There's the number 2 steel shot. You can see that. You can see most of it. Whoa. Most of it didn't even go through on the 2 shot. It made a nice pattern, but it didn't penetrate all the way through.
Alright, so now this one we're going to be shooting is a 2 3/4 number 3 shot steel, and that's the Winchester Xpert. Got a new piece of drywall up. Alright, so that was the what was that, number 3 shot? That's what we got here. It actually knocked this board over. There's our spread. Got a couple loose ones over here. There's our spread. See the plastic plug went all the way through. This is what it did to our back right here. Looks like we got no penetration. Check the back, see what the back side, anything. No penetration at all. That'd be right in here. We got nothing. Winchester Xpert high velocity, 2 3/4 number 4 shot. I'm gonna try to go right lower. Those definitely have way more punch. I mean, it's just like punching that board hard because it's not penetrating. Alright, so let's check this out. There's our shots right there. That's number 4. That was number 3. So we got a nice spread. Let's look at the other side and see if it penetrated at all. Nope, nothing. Alright, so there's number 4 shot there. We got a nice pattern. Put a nice big oomph where that plastic plug punched it. Got a nice pattern there. Decent spread. No penetration on the back at all. But I noticed it did a little bit of penetration there, and when it hit this thing, it went like that. It's punching so hard because it's not penetrating. It's just throwing it. It's just hitting it with all its force because it's not actually penetrating through. So it's like getting punched as opposed to being speared with something. So, you know, there's a number 4 shot. The spread, no penetration through the back, and it just really kicked it hard, tossed it back. So, alright, this one's our number 7 shot, 2 3/4. Just regular cheap gun club target shot. Let's see how this one does. I'm thinking it's going to punch that board hard and knock it back. Bounce it back. I'm going to go lower left. Alright.
So there's our 7.5, 2 3/4 shell, 7.5 shot, decent spread, barely any penetration in the drywall. Well, it went into the drywall, but it's not as deep as some of this other shot. Nothing on the back at all. Nice and clean. It didn't even separate the two. Right there, nothing.
3-inch double-aught. 3-inch double-aught through a water jug.
Holy crap. That's pretty crazy, huh? Dang. Jeez.
Well, so much for our setup there.